Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. Be seen on WHPR Detroit Live, Comcast Cable Channel 91, on the web at tv33whpr.com, with the TV33 app, on Roku, Google TV, Apple TV, and on Amazon Fire TV. Act now. Time slots are limited. Sign up today and get a free replay with the purchase of your time slot. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinda.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback,
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
And take us along with you. Feedback.
Good morning, Highland Park, and welcome to Highland Park Highlights. I am your host, Rod Liggins. It's just after 8 a.m. this morning. We're kicking off a new week, and we're going to have a lot of information. We've got some news headlines, and we've got a number of resources as it relates to the pandemic, dealing with the massive flooding that we've had over recent weeks, and also a few job interview tips and a job listings and job recruiting fairs. So let's get right to it. We want to get first to the news headlines of the week. Millions of Americans are jeopardizing their health, freedom, and finances by not getting vaccinated and putting themselves at risk of the most infectious coronavirus strain yet. This comes from current and former federal health officials. Most people will either get vaccinated or have been previously infected, or they'll get this Delta variant. That comes from Dr. Scott Gottlieb. And for most Americans, people will get this Delta variant is going to be the most serious virus that they get in their lifetime in terms of putting the risk of their lives or putting them in the hospital. Gottlieb was a former commissioner of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. For those not fully vaccinated, quality of mask is going to make a major difference with the variant that spreads more aggressively. The Delta does where people are more contagious and exude more virus. So what that means is there may be an upgrade to the masks that we're currently wearing because this Delta variant appears to be much more stronger than the previous COVID-19. And also know that a number of folks are seeking to get back to traveling, be it by plane, by bus, by car, or even by cruise ships. And we want to make sure that you're also aware of what's going on as it relates to the COVID-19 virus with that. A federal court has temporarily blocked a lower court's ruling that will allow the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, to continue to implement safety protocols on the cruise industry. The ruling stays a June ruling by U.S. District Judge Steve Merriday from the Middle District of Florida. He ruled that the CDC's conditional sailing order on the cruise industry likely constitutes an unconstitutional delegation of legislative power to the CDC. Florida is likely to succeed in that case. The motion filed by the CDC in the appeal said that the state of Florida ignored what the protocols actually require. Conventional communicable disease control measures for cruise ships engaged in international travel, which fall easily within the CDC's long-standing statutory and regulatory authority. It also states that says the state disregards the threat to public health that would arise if the cruise ship operators were at liberty to ignore the CDC guidance or to act without oversight from public health authorities. A motorist was shot by a passenger in another car early Sunday morning on the Lodge Freeway in Detroit. A 35-year-old woman from New York State suffered a grazing wound to her left wrist, and that's according to the Michigan State Police. The reason for the shooting is not known. It occurred around 12:30 a.m. The woman, whose name was not released by police, left a bar near Puritan and 6 Mile and entered the Lodge Freeway at 7 Mile. The woman was driving north and moved to the right lane to pass a silver SUV. As she passed the SUV, a passenger in the vehicle fired several shots at her. The woman sped away and called police. MSP closed the freeway so they could search the scene of the shooting. Investigators did find several bullet casings south of 8 Mile Road. Lorenzo Gaines, a Detroit father and community fixture on the city's east side, was all too familiar with gun violence. A 2009 shooting in which Gaines tried to defend a woman who was being harassed by a group of men left him confined to a wheelchair. But he never gave up hope, said his sister Tyra Gaines. In fact, he recently began to regain feeling in his legs after multiple surgeries over the last dozen years. He hoped to recover enough to find a job and care for his 2 children, ages 8 and 5. Instead, tragically, his life ended in a hail of bullets outside of Chalmers Banquet Hall on the city's east side. Gaines was shot once in the head and died at the scene. A suspect in the shooting is being held as prosecutors weigh charges in the case. 5 others were shot outside the banquet facility but are expected to recover. And despite sky-high prices and surging customer demand, most automakers are about to report that revenue is down from where it was in the second quarter of 2019, a quote-unquote normal period before the pandemic that is being used for many financial results comparisons. The downturn stems from the shortage of computer chips that has limited the production of new cars. The tight inventories are a big part of the reason that prices for both new and used cars have hit a record high levels, raising inflation pressures over the overall U.S. economy. According to Edmunds, the average new car transaction was just shy of a record $41,000 that was set in May, up 10% from June of 2019. The average used car price soared even more, rising 28% in that 2-year period to reach a record of $26,500. LeBron James took his talents to the movies this weekend and came away with a hit. Space Jam: A New Legacy, which stars James alongside the Looney Tunes, brought in an estimated $31.6 million in its North American opening this weekend. That exceeded industry expectations, which projected the film to bring in closer to $20 million for its debut. That number is somewhat surprising for a few reasons. For starters, the Warner Brothers film was widely panned by critics. Coming up, I'll have a number of resources for you. We're going to discuss, like I stated earlier, we're going to discuss ways that you can recover and rebuild from the massive flooding that we've had over the past few weeks. And there are also some things that are tied to the current pandemic that, yes, we're still under, and want to make sure that you have everything that you need to keep you and your family safe. So be sure to come right back, and we'll have that information just for you.
Can I ask you a question?
Why did you get your kids vaccinated?
It was hard for them to social distance, to be isolated from their friends.
I want them to get back to school and sports games. So as a pediatrician, I recommend the vaccine to everyone I know.
The boys lost a former teammate and classmate who was only 20 years old. It's been a devastating year.
We want to get back to normalcy. Our daughter is really looking forward to being with her friends, being a kid.
It's time for your company to make the next big step. Hire a knowledgeable, experienced, and connected firm. Mario Morrow and Associates is a trusted media and public relations firm. We understand your vision and your industry. We'll provide strategic marketing, digital and social media, image building, and reputation management. Contact Mario Morrow and Associates, where success rules and results matter. Learn more at mariomorrow.com.
I'm joined today by Maureen Taylor and Louis Pisker to let you know about a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office.
Do you know someone, family or friends, that need help with finances? Do you know people having trouble making ends meet, especially with property taxes or other payments? The Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help. Treasurer Sabri invites you to visit the new Financial Empowerment Center, 400 Monroe, on the 5th floor in downtown Detroit.
We've partnered with the Wayne County Treasurer's Office and the City of Detroit to provide free one-on-one financial counseling to help you address problems related to utility bills, property or income taxes, credit repair, and other financial matters. Our professional counselors can also help you plan your monthly budget and increase your credit score.
This service is available to all Wayne County residents. For free and private financial counseling, contact the center at 313-322-6222 and make an appointment today.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Mattered. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
Good morning and welcome back to Highland Park Highlights. I am your host, Rod Liggins. And before we took our break, I mentioned that we want to talk about some things that are available to Highland Park residents to recover both from the massive floods that we had over the last few weeks due to the heavy rains, as well as resources that are available that relate to surviving the COVID-19 pandemic that we still are under. I know when we go outside, we see folks walking around without masks, and we're gathering in large groups again, and some folks have reopened churches and have started holding services again on their specific days of worship. We see folks going into shopping malls and shopping centers and stores without masks, gathering outdoors at parks and playgrounds, and even in backyards with several dozen people gathering, and very few, if any, may be wearing masks. But let me be clear with this. The global pandemic of COVID-19 still exists. I know there have been a number of people that have gotten vaccinated, and to them I say kudos. But I also want to encourage those of you that have not or have yet not gotten vaccinated to please consider getting vaccinated. You can go to michigan.gov, and they will show you the nearest locations to your home. You can find out the hours. This is all done free of charge. All you need to do is, if you would like, set up an appointment, but walk-ins are welcome at most locations. Again, this is very imperative that we all understand that the pandemic still exists, and you can get vaccinated from as young as the age of 12 on up to into the hundreds. So we want to just make sure that you know that vaccines are still available, and it's still a worthwhile effort to take on, because the pandemic still exists, even though folks have been out traveling by plane, by bus, by train, driving in cars and mobile homes, and like I said, gathering at large events. Sporting events are even allowing massive crowds to return, but that doesn't mean that everybody in the crowd is vaccinated. And with the new Delta variant, you definitely want to make sure that you get you and yourself and others protected, especially those that you care about. But with that being said, I want to pivot just a minute over to the flooding that we had. The first rains came down on June 25th into June 26th, and we had several inches of rain when it was just expected to be about 1 or 2 inches. We ended up with about 6 or 7, depending on where you live. The fact of the matter is that the large amount of rain in a short amount of time just simply was too much for the current water system and infrastructure to handle, and thereby we had a large number of homes that suffered massive flooding. We know that everyone, that whether you have homeowners insurance or not, everything is not covered under your policy. What I learned was, for flood insurance, you first have to live in a designated flood plain, and you would also have to have the water would have to have come into the house instead of coming up from the sewer. The majority of the homes that have been reported, and the folks that I've spoken with, the rain came in by way of through the sewerage, and that came into the house. So we got to make sure that these properties are cleaned. If you need some help, you want to be neighborly, help your neighbors out, help the seniors out, or those who are unable to remove items from their basement. And then you want to make sure that that basement is disinfected and cleaned properly. Some things will have to go, and you may even have to look at going into your wall if you have drywall, if you have paneling, if you have wood. Those are some of the things that can still hold that bacteria and can quickly turn into black mold, which can be harmful to your health and, yes, even deadly. So we want to make sure that you get the resources that you need. And since the governor has declared a state of emergency with Wayne County, a critical step in being approved by FEMA disaster relief funds is that each local municipality submit their damage assessments ASAP. So you want to accurately document damages to your homes and your neighborhoods. And what that means is before you move anything, take as many pictures as you can. Walk through the house, go into the corners of your basement, go up against the wall and take a look and photograph or make a video of the damage that your property suffered by way of these torrential rains that led to the flooding in the basements. Then you want to make sure to have that and make sure you make note of all the damages that took place on June 25th and June 26th. You may be asked to submit those documents at a later date. The information that it will be collected will be relayed to each respective city and township to help with data collection for potential relief. This does not, and let me make that very clear, this does not replace any official claims form that needs to be filed for reimbursement with any government agency or insurance provider. This effort is being organized by State Representative Helena Scott from District 7, which covers both Highland Park and a portion of the city of Detroit. So if you have any questions, you want to make sure you reach out to State Rep Scott. Her email address is helenascott@house.mi.gov. Again, her email address is helenascott@house.mi.gov. You can also give her office a call at 517-373-2276. Excuse me. The number again is 517-373-2276. And this is the first phase through the state in order to collect information to find out what resources will be available to those who have suffered a loss or losses due to the heavy rains that came by a few weeks ago. We have to make sure this stuff is documented. And if you know someone who may not be computer tech savvy, may not be able to go into their basement and take pictures, they may be elderly, they may be disabled, or they just aren't sure of what they need to do, be a neighbor, be a friend, and help those folks out to make sure they gather the information that they need in order to make sure that they are documenting the damages so that they can get the most amount of resources available. When we come back, we'll have some more information as it relates to getting through this flooding disaster process, because we want to make sure that you're aware that President Biden has given some good news to Wayne County and through the state of Michigan. So be sure to come right back. We'll have more information after these messages.
Hi, this is LaWanda.
This is R.J. Watkins.
Coming to you to bring you some information about the #1 detox in the nation, Lemon Burn. Lemon Burn helps to turn the fat into fit. It's for you, a happier, healthier you. Because you know healthy is the new beautiful. An all-natural way to improve your health. It promotes a healthy digestive system, attacks and reduces belly fat, as well as gives you energy. Need to get yours today. Call 313-868-6612.
Don't forget to exercise and eat right.
107.3 FM, WVIE.
How would you like for this to be you? Well, it could be. If you have the desire to be an independent radio personality, paying yourself, this is your chance. WVIE 107.3 FM and WHPR 88.1 FM are looking for people with outgoing personalities who can attract sponsors. Launch your career on a radio station with the latest technology in broadcasting. WVIE 107.3 and WHPR 88.1. If you're into talk, R&B, oldies, jazz, gospel, or soca, Radio We Can See is where you need to be.
88.1 FM, WHPR.
Have your own radio show. Block time is available. Call 313-868-6612. Radio We Can See, broadcasting live in the Virgin Islands and Detroit. Find us on Comcast Channel 90 and worldwide on Fire Stick, Roku, Apple TV, and all of your favorite platforms.
This is K-Mac with K-Mac Transportation. Download the Boom app.
The Boom app is available on all iPhones and Androids. We operate 24/7, a better transportation service in the metropolitan Detroit area. Give the Boom app a try today. For more information about Boom, call 313-765-6245. 313-765-6245.
This is K-Mac, and I want to thank the community for downloading the Boom app.
313-765-6245.
Welcome back to Highland Park Highlights. We were discussing ways that folks can recover from the devastating floods that the city of Highland Park and other areas around this region suffered just a few weeks ago. Now that President Joe Biden has declared Wayne County a disaster area, you may qualify for financial relief through the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA. To submit your claim, you can either visit disasterassistance.gov or you can call 1-800-621-3362. Again, that email address is disasterassistance.gov or you can call 1-800-621-3362. So I want to talk a little bit about what that means for federal dollars to come in by way of FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency. FEMA has come out and they will go out into neighborhoods and knock on doors and ask residents the types and damages that were suffered by homeowners or even renters, but they also want to know specifics. Now, this will be an oral statement. They don't want to look at pictures. They don't want to look at any documentation you may have. Right now, this is their information gathering period. And even though the president has declared Wayne County a disaster area, you still want to make sure that you have those items available for them to review. You also want to make sure that you provide accurate information. If you have homeowners insurance, give your insurer your provider, insurance provider, a call to just find out if there is anything that is covered based on the policy you currently own. If it's not covered, you may want to look at upgrading your insurance policy, because we can't say with 100% certainty that these types of rains that we endured the past few weeks will not happen again. So it may be wise to take a look at the kind of coverage that you have and maybe make some upgrades and changes so that if this does happen, you'll have coverage to replace the damaged items. Now, FEMA mostly looks at things that are deemed a necessity. If you have your furnace or water heater in the basement, a number of people have their washers and dryers in the basement. Some will even have refrigerators. Those are some of the things that FEMA will look at replacing. It doesn't mean that if you paid $4,000 for your refrigerator or $4,000 for your furnace that they're going to give you $4,000 back. They will give you more than likely a portion of that cost. If you had certain items in the basement, that like a flat screen television or a stereo system or anything that is not deemed a necessity, those likely will not get covered. You still want to notify FEMA and let them know of all the losses, but I just want to make sure that you're aware of how FEMA works. Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence, who was out walking in different neighborhoods in this area and others, she made it very clear to remind residents and homeowners that FEMA is not your homeowner's insurance. FEMA is there to assist, but not to fully replace and restore. These are dollars that you'll be able to use to get some form of semblance of order and cleanliness back into your house. But you want to make sure that you check out for all the resources that are out here and that are available. Now, Highland Park and Hamtramck residents may also be eligible for 12 months of rental assistance for those who may have fallen behind due to the COVID-19 virus. You can request assistance also to help your utility service, and even if you have home Wi-Fi services through your provider, there are also dollars that can help you with that as well. That's related to COVID-19. And that's why I said I wanted to make sure you understand we're going to be talking about resources today. So I need to make sure that you have a pen and paper, and not only are you writing this information down, please share it with your family, your friends, your neighbors, church members, the folks at the barbershop and the salon, everywhere, because a lot of times residents don't receive the assistance that's available, mainly because they don't know about it. So that's where it comes from. I'm trying to be the conduit to make sure that you get the information that you need for the resources that are available. There are times when dollars are made available to Highland Park residents or Detroit residents or other urban city residents, and if they fail to use them, those dollars then go outside of the cities into the more affluent suburbs. We want to make sure that you have access to these dollars, you apply for these dollars, and that you receive these dollars. Some may come by way of financial compensation. Others, again, like I stated, may come by way of the replacement of different items in your home, specifically in the basement, by way of washer, dryer, furnace, and water heater. But like I said again, for those who are seeking the rental assistance or utilities assistance due to COVID, if you became ill with COVID and could not work, if you were temporarily unemployed, or you lost your job due to the pandemic, you want to make sure you call 1-866-313-2520. Again, that's 1-866-313-2520. And that's through the Homeless Action Network of Detroit. Again, some of these programs will be based on eligibility requirements, and that may be based on the amount of money you make, the amount of household income in the house, if you're married, or if you and your son or daughter may have a job, or if you're living with your parents, if they're working, or if they're receiving income. That may play into what amount you can receive to assist you with your bills and your expenses during the pandemic. We know that there was last year that folks got quite a bit of unemployment, and some of that has phased out, and other unemployment dollars are still available. These are not dealing with unemployment. They're dealing primarily with those who have suffered a loss and they need help with their rent or need help with their utilities. Again, you want to call 1-866-313-250, 1-866-313-250. We've come to the bottom of the hour, and when we come back, we'll talk again about more resources that are available. Please make sure you tell your neighbors to join us. Take down the notes. We're going to give out a lot of numbers. We're going to give out a lot of websites, and we want to make sure you have the correct information to take advantage of the resources that you need that are available. We'll be right back.
If you or someone you know is facing eviction and has a notice to quit or a court order summons, complaint, or judgment, there is help to avoid eviction. call the Detroit Eviction Helpline at 866-313-2520 or visit DetroitEvictionHelp.com. The City of Detroit with the State of Michigan have eviction prevention programs to assist Detroit residents with financial assistance and legal representation. Again, Detroiters can call 866-313-2520 or visit www.DetroitEvictionHelp.com. That's 866-313-2520 or go online to DetroitEvictionHelp.com. Again, Detroiters can call 866-313-2520 or visit www.DetroitEvictionHelp.com. 866-313-2520. Get help today.
In the world of digital broadcasting, transmitters and exciters sometimes do this. If this happens when you're watching WHPR TV 33, please do this. Watch us on Fire Stick, Roku, Apple TV, Google TV, or TV33WHPR.com. Download the WHPR TV app, and we can also be heard on Amazon Echo. So remember, if you see this, you can do this and support the station that supports you.
I'm Attorney Carl Collins III. I'm Attorney Carl Collins III. Hello, I'm Attorney Carl Collins III. If you've been injured and you need help, make the best call on your worst day. Call me at 855-CAR-HIT-YOU. That's 855-CAR-HIT-YOU.
Good morning, Highland Park, and welcome back to Highland Park Highlights. We're talking now about resources that can help you both recover from the ill effects of the COVID-19 pandemic as well as the massive flooding we've had in recent weeks. Again, I just want to stress that if you're seeking funding from the state, you can contact your state representative, Helena Scott. She has information that is available to you that you can report your losses and inquire about any types of programs that are available. Her email address, her office email address is Helena, that's Helena, Scott, SCOTT, so that's all one word, Helena Scott, at house.mi.gov. I'll spell that again, HELENASCOTT, Helena Scott, at housemi.gov, or you can call 517-373-2276. Again, that number, 517-373-2276. And that's for information that you can forward over to your state representative, and that covers both a portion of all of Highland Park and a portion of the city of Detroit. Highland Park and Hamtramck residents, you may be eligible for 12 months of rental assistance, and if you've fallen behind due to the COVID-19 pandemic, you want to call 1-866-313-2520, 1-866-313-2520, and that's provided through the Homeless Action Network of Detroit. If you're a Highland Park or Hamtramck resident, you may be eligible, and you can call that number for more information. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has resources that can give you up to $1,500 in state emergency relief, as well as up to $4,000 for furnace, water heater, and other energy repairs. This again goes dealing with the after effects of those massive storms that started on the night of June 25th and concluded during the day on June 26th. That was a Friday and a Saturday. We got in some areas up to 6 to 7 inches of rain, and because that rain came down in such a rapid pace, a lot of people had a lot of flooding in their basements. Now, some, like me, I was fortunate, I only had a few inches. Others had feet, a high number of feet of water in their basement, and that caused a high amount of damage in their homes. And we want to make sure that you are aware of the resources that are available to help get you back on your feet. So again, if you need the resources that are from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, you want to visit the website michigan.gov/MI Bridges. Again, that's michigan.gov/MIBRIDGES. That's michigan.gov/MI Bridges. Or you can call the number 313-388-9799. And I just want to say before I go any further, a lot of these numbers are getting a lot of calls. So please pack your patience. Please remain respectful. The amount of help does not match the amount of need. So there are not enough employees on these different, at the other end of these phone numbers, to be able to answer these calls right away. But we want you to make sure that you call them. That's why we're giving out both phone numbers and websites so that you can look up information or you can send information, and then they will get back with you and let you know the next steps. At the end of the day, our focus is to make sure you have the information you need to get your house back in order. So again, if you're looking for help, there is help available from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. They have resources that can give you up to $1,500 in emergency relief. And what that means is money that you can use right away, whether you have to use that for a hotel room, may need that to replace food or clothing that perished in the flooding, or you just may want to use that to start the cleanup process. Because as I stated, you want to make sure that everything in your house is cleaned up and that no residue or anything like that is left behind. The main focus is to throw out the things that have been damaged by the raw sewage that came into the house during those storms, and then also finding the dollars that will help replace the items that were lost. And I said help because even if you have homeowners insurance, you may want to find out exactly how much they will cover, because in order to replace things, you may have gotten something for $200 last year or 4 or 5 years ago, and now that could cost $500 to replace. So again, some are offering assistance. If you have your homeowner's insurance, that may offer full coverage in order for you to restore the items that you did lose in the floods. And as I stated again, you want to make sure you contact these places sooner than later. The FEMA dollars from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, that number again, you want to call 1-800-621-3362, 1-800-621-3362. This is just our way of making sure that when we're aware of information, we want to make sure that you get that information. The City of Highland Park is doing everything they can to make sure that the cleanup efforts are being handled, but also want to make sure that you are aware of federal dollars, state dollars, county dollars, and even if there's city dollars, anywhere there's money to be had by way of recouping your losses, this is where you want to get that information. So again, through the State Emergency Relief, which is the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, that number is 313-388-9799, or you can visit michigan.gov/MI Bridges. That's where you can go to find out more about the state, as well as finding more out about other resources as it relates to the cleanup process. We've also talked about there are dollars out there that can assist you to recover from COVID-19. Like I stated before, some folks are heading back to work. Some folks are still on unemployment. Even if you're back to work, you may be eligible for these dollars because of the money that was lost or the dollars that were not earned because you were on unemployment. So these are dollars that can assist you primarily with the bills that you may have. Like I said, utilities. These are things that you can use right away, because we want to make sure that not only are you protecting yourself by getting vaccinated for the COVID-19 virus, but you also have dollars that can assist you with rental payments, utility payments, covering your internet or Wi-Fi. That number is 866-313-2520. And this is for Highland Park and Hamtramck residents, and I believe Detroit residents as well. You may be eligible for up to 12 months of rental assistance. If you fell behind due to the COVID-19 pandemic, you need to call this number right away. And I'll give it to you again, 1-866-313-2520. And this effort is through the Homeless Action Network of Detroit. When we come back next, we'll be talking about job opportunities because, like I said, a number of jobs that were here in 2020 and 2019 no longer exist. So this is your opportunity now to start looking for a new career. You may be eligible for federal aid as it relates to going back to school to get some training while you're on unemployment. We'll have those details and much more right after this break.
Hi, excuse me, do you have anything for paint?
Straight down that aisle there.
All right, thank you.
Young lady, this here's what you need.
Ringmaster?
Ringmaster rubbing oil.
How does it work?
By promoting circulation since 1950. Massage it in for best results.
Ringmaster took care of my back pain.
Ringmaster got rid of my knee pain, too.
Wow, it sounds like I'm late to the party. I'll take one.
Find Ringmaster at CVS, Davis Drugs, and other fine stores.
I'm joined today by Maureen Taylor and Louis Pisker to let you know about a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office.
Do you know someone, family or friends, that need help with finances? Do you know people having trouble making ends meet, especially with property taxes or other payments? The Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help. Treasurer Sabri invites you to visit the new Financial Empowerment Center, 400 Monroe, on the 5th floor in downtown Detroit.
We've partnered with the Wayne County Treasurer's Office and the City of Detroit to provide free one-on-one financial counseling to help you address problems related to utility bills, property or income taxes, credit repair, and other financial matters. Our professional counselors can also help you plan your monthly budget and increase your credit score.
This service is available to all Wayne County residents. For free and private financial counseling, contact the center at 313-322-6222 and make an appointment today.
Here's one more reason to get the COVID-19 vaccine. It's your shot to win. Anyone 18 years or older in Michigan vaccinated between December 1st, 2020 and July 30th, 2021 is now eligible to win millions in cash prizes, including $1 million jackpots and $50,000 daily prizes. And vaccinated students could win thousands in college scholarships. For eligibility details and to enter, go to mishottowin.com.
We're talking today about resources that are available for those who are still suffering through the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as those that have had damages to their property or properties related to the floodings that we've had both on June 25th and 26th, and even the more recent rains. The President of the United States, Joe Biden, has declared Wayne County a disaster area, which makes the county and its residents eligible, that is, for federal dollars to help replenish, restore, and replace items that were lost in the storms. You want to make sure that you submit your claim by two ways. You can either visit disasterassistance.gov, that's disasterassistance.gov, or you can call 1-800-621-3362, 1-800-621-3362. I also want to make sure that you're aware that the City of Highland Park has a helpful friend by the way of State Representative Helena Scott. She's asking that those that are in need of restoration help, that they can either call her office at 517-373-2278. Again, that's 517-373-2276. I'm sorry, it's 517-373-2276. And the email address is Helena Scott, and I'll spell that out, HelenaScott, Helena Scott at Helena Scott at house.mi.gov. I'm trying to get a lot of information out, and I think I'm going a little too fast, so let me slow down. Helena Scott at house.mi.gov. Her office number again, 517-373-2276. This is getting assistance related to the flood damage that may have occurred in your home. You want to make sure you contact her to get more information on that. We also are aware that the Highland Park and Hamtramck residents, you're eligible to receive up to 12 months of rental assistance and help with your utility payments by calling 1-866-313-2520, 1-866-313-2520. And this is for those that have fallen behind in their rent and utility payments because of the COVID-19 pandemic, whether you contracted the virus or your employment was altered because of the virus. You may be eligible based on your household income. You may be eligible for some funds to assist you with your rent and utility payments. Also, as you've heard many times before, and even this morning, and I'll do it again, I'm imploring you to please get vaccinated. The vaccine is very effective. The Moderna and Pfizer have a 95 to 98% effective rate, as well as Johnson & Johnson. Theirs is a little lower, but being vaccinated helps a lot better than being not vaccinated. Current numbers show that 99% of the new cases of COVID-19 infections are coming from those who are unvaccinated. So it is very important that you get yourself vaccinated, you get your family and friends vaccinated, and anyone else you may come in contact with, please ask them, beg them if you have to, because despite what people may see going outside, they're traveling more, they're hosting picnics and family events and family reunions and birthday parties and anniversaries. At the end of the day, the pandemic is still in existence. Just because people are going out does not mean it is not in effect. And we've seen fatal results. Over 600,000 people in the United States have died because of COVID-19. The only way we can flatten that curve is if everyone gets vaccinated. And if you need another incentive, well, the state of Michigan is offering thousands of dollars in a sweepstakes if you've been vaccinated. All you need to do is visit the website myshot2win.com, and that's myshotTowin.com. You would be eligible to receive thousands of dollars and $50,000 payments, and even the youngsters between 12 and 17, they may be eligible for scholarship dollars. And we've seen this in Ohio. We've seen the first 4 winners here in Michigan, and a number of them were from the Metro Detroit area. So please get yourself vaccinated. Go ahead and put your name in the sweepstakes, and you could end up being a millionaire simply by getting a shot that will help save your life. As I stated before, there are state dollars out there. They can give you $1,500 in immediate state emergency relief, and you can get up to $4,000 as it relates to repairs to your furnace, water heater, and other energy repair needs. But you need to visit michigan.gov/MI Bridges. That's MIBRIDGES. So michigan.gov/MI Bridges. Or you can call 313-388-9799. As it relates to employment, I can let you know that the Wayne County Sheriff's Department, they're going to host a recruiting fair July 31st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Cullen Plaza in Detroit, and that's located at 1340 Atwater. The Wayne County Sheriff's Department will be offering competitive wages, medical benefits, and more. And just so you're aware that as we stay into the law enforcement theme, both the city of Highland Park and the city of Detroit are also in search of new recruits to become law enforcement officers for those respective cities. You can find more details on each city's website, but the focus is about getting folks back to work. Also, check out the websites such as LinkedIn, Indeed.com. There are a number of jobs that are being listed. Some jobs are being newly created. And now that people are getting more and more back into what we call a new normal as far as getting outside, shopping, dining out, doing recreational things, excuse me, this is the time you want to start looking for maybe a different piece of employment. Maybe the job that you had is no longer there. Maybe the job that you had is still waiting to see if it's ever going to come back. You can even have a job right now, but you may want to look other places to find the best place or the best fit for you. When we try to think of how can something good come from a pandemic, this is one that tops the list, is finding a way to live a better life. Now that we know better, we want to do better. So we're starting to notice folks who may have had a job that had no real room for advancement. They really had stagnant wages, and there was not much opportunity for growth. Now we're starting to see folks who are looking for different opportunities that have those same things, where you can start out on the ground floor, but now you can make yourself available to advance up the food chain, so to speak, where you can start out as a, let's say, just a junior intern or a paid internship, and you can work your way up to being a manager, a supervisor, a deputy director, or even director of some of these positions based on your skill set, your work experience, your educational background. All of these things people are taking a second look at. A number of courses that folks can take at the community college. You don't have to sign up and go to a 4-year university. You may be able to get some certifications for employment. These are some of the things you want to make sure you're taking a look at, because right now you have an opportunity to find different job opportunities. There are some factories that are hiring. I see regularly places like Jeep and Chrysler or Stellantis and Ford. These are places that they have steady employment, they have decent wages and full benefits. These are things that if this is your type of employment, you may want to make sure you check out their websites. Right now, the unemployment numbers have remained flat, but the only way the unemployment rates can go down is if we get more folks employed. So what that means is we've got to tighten up our skills. You want to brush up on your resume and make sure that you have the most updated information, and that basically that resume sells you to a potential employer. That talks about you on paper to someone looking to fill positions. And this is something that folks are taking very seriously now. I spoke to a manager who oversees a school bus department, and they're looking for bus drivers. They're looking for truck drivers. Of course, we know we've heard many opportunities through Uber and Lyft. These places, they need you to be ready to go. What does that mean? Well, do you have a valid driver's license? Well, I know how to drive. That's not the same thing. Make sure your driver's license is up to date. Make sure that you're able to pass a drug test. You don't want to go in there and they ask you to go take a drug test and you have something, even though marijuana is legal now in Michigan for recreational purposes, it does not mean that you cannot be tested and lose a job because that was found in your system. Same goes for alcohol. You don't want to walk into an interview and you're seeking to work some heavy machinery, drive a truck, drive a school bus, and you're intoxicated, inebriated, or even if you have the smell of alcohol on your person. You want to make sure you're ready to get to work because the opportunities are here, but it doesn't mean they're going to be there forever. So make sure you've gotten yourself available to be the best potential candidate you can be for any type of employment opportunities. And lastly, a number of these places are even offering signing bonuses for truck drivers, for wait staffs, and some of these restaurants that the folks just aren't coming back in. And the wages that were earned just 2 years ago in restaurants or in the restaurant industry have gone up because people are just no longer accepting the minimum and trying to make that into a living wage. So there are a lot of things that are in place that can benefit you. So before I go, I want to make sure I give you out all the numbers again. For FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, you want to give them a call at 1-800-621-3362. Again, that's 1-800-621-3362, or you can visit disasterassistance.gov, disasterassistance.gov. For Highland Park, Detroit, and Hamtramck residents who may be eligible for 12 months of rental assistance due to the COVID-19 virus, you need to call 866-313-2520. That's 866-313-2520. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, they're offering $1,500 in emergency relief as well as $4,000 in home emergency repair relief. In order to get that, you need to visit michigan.gov/MI Bridges, or you can call 313-388-9799. Again, that's michigan.gov/MI Bridges, or you can call 313-388-9799. I'm looking at the clock, and it appears we've run out of time, but I want to thank you for joining me for Highland Park Highlights. I want you to have a great Monday and a great week, and be sure to come back next Monday, and we'll hope to have more information that'll make sure your daily life is a better one. Enjoy the day, enjoy the week, and take care.